replay. So today we're going to talk about the secrets to social media marketing. So how many of you would say that you use social media to try and attract clients into your experience? You are actively marketing on social media. Okay. Which platforms are you guys using the most to do that? Facebook? What else? Anybody using Instagram? Nita, I see you shaking your head. LinkedIn, okay. Instagram, okay. Anyone using TikTok or YouTube, Pinterest? Anyone, no? Okay. All right, so we're gonna, on your workbook, if you don't have a workbook, I'm gonna drop it in the chat just in case that you didn't get it so that you can follow along with us. It really is a, kind of a fill in the blanks sort of thing. And you can also, let me go to my documents. It's not in my downloads. There's a lot of areas to take notes. I'm very much a note taker as well. So step one to really utilizing social media to market your business is to, step one, optimize your profiles. Okay, so write that down. And step number one, optimize your profiles. So any social media profile that you have, you're going to need to optimize that. Okay, there is, and you'll see down below, optimize profile tips. So each of those platforms, there are things that you should have done. Every single thing of these needs to be done, right? One of the biggest unused real estate, what I call real estate on Facebook, is the description of your profile photo and the description of your header photo. So on your personal Facebook page, on your business Facebook page, in your group header page, those are all real estate where you can write a description of who you are, what you do, add some links, not leaks. Those are not, that's not what I'm talking about. Add some links, but tell people what you do. Because one of the things that happens is that let's say that I'm participating in a group, in a chat on a, a discussion or something like that on a Facebook thread. And I'm like, ooh, I really love that, what that person has to say. Maybe I want to send them a message and talk about it a little bit more. I go to click their profile. I want to learn about what they do. Or if someone says, I can help you, I can do that. I go to click their profile and I go to learn more about them. And guess what? There's nothing there. There's no business page tagged. There's no websites linked in their profile. I click on their picture, no description. I trying to find information in order to do business with someone. I should not have to go hunt for it. You should make it easy for me to do business with you. That's one of the ways that you can do that. Okay. And I would love to show you a little bit more about what I'm talking about. So I'm going to show you my Facebook profile. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen so you can see what I'm talking about, because this is really important, you guys. So this picture right here, if you click on this, look, boom, caption, there's a description here. Okay, click on my picture. It will let me actually show it to you. You may have to click on it, as it's not going to let me. It wants me to either change it or something like that. Oh, view it. Let's see, view it. Boom, here I am. And then if you see more, I added some little emojis. I added some links in there. Okay. And then down here, look at all of the things. My business page is tagged. All of my Instagrams are linked. My Pinterest is linked. My YouTube channel is linked. My Spotify, all of the things in here. I need to take out evolutionaryentrepreneurs.com, but everything else on here is updated. See what I'm saying? Make it easy for people to do business with you. Any questions about that? Okay, so just go in there and I want you to spend the time edit your bio, edit your profile, and get it all done. Okay, make sure and go in. Like I said, I was like, oh crap, I haven't updated my bio in a while because I need to go in there and update some links. Okay. So every time you change website links, every time you change your Instagram handle, you have no idea how many times I have found that people's social media links on their websites were to broken accounts, because we forget sometimes all the places that it's linked. Okay. Okay. So step one was optimize your profiles. Number one is I love to use Linktree. Now on Instagram, if you have a business creator account or anything like that, you can have a website link. If you're anything like me, however, you have multiple links to multiple things because I talk about a lot of things. I have books and podcasts and workshops and, guest speaking on podcasts and speaking here and doing all the things. So if I talk about those things, I want people to be able to find the information easily. So I use Linktree. There are other programs out there that you can use. Linktree is free. It's linktr.ee. Okay, that's the official website. So if you go to my Instagram account, instead of seeing my website, you're going to see a Linktree, and that Linktree then has all of the links. So people can literally just click on the link, go to the spot that I was talking about in my post, boom. Make it easy for people to find the information. You can also now, I saw Canva is also now offering their own sort of link tree. You can create a pretty graphic. You can have that on your website and basically have that link in there. So but that's fancy, right? I want to make it easy for you guys. And Linktree to me is the easiest. Okay. Number two is your email signature. Also, again, the most underutilized real estate. So does your email signature have a link to your website? Does it have a link to, and I'm going to tell you guys something right now. I had someone send an email and their email signature was like font 18. It was scrolling and scrolling. And I'm like, oh my God, what is she doing? No. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Okay. You can make a customized, cute little email signature as a graphic if you wanted to, and you could have your picture on there. You could have your phone number and all that kind of stuff. But it's actually really easy to just utilize the email signature, whether that's Gmail or Outlook or whatever email you use. Have a beautiful email signature. Make it easier for people to click to say, oh, what is she doing? What is that? Oh, I want to listen to a podcast. Click, make it easy. Okay. Number three. Now we all learned recently when Facebook and Instagram went down, how many of you were going, oh shit, now what am I going to do? I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm predicting that Facebook is not going to be around for very long. And I was talking with someone the other day, and I don't know why Facebook has not done this yet. Why they have not gone to a free or paid version, right? There are people that don't like Facebook because they hate all the ads. And then there's people that love Facebook, but they want to use it for business. And so there's this kind of thing. I'm not going to get into it, but I'm having some predictions here that I don't want you to rely heavily solely on social media to market your business. The only thing you own is your email list. So you should have an opt-in somewhere in your Linktree, in your email signature, on your Facebook, all the things. Have an opt-in. The goal is to get people into your email list. That is the only thing that you own. You do not own your Facebook. You do not own Instagram. We have the privilege of being able to borrow. We are borrowing their platforms to communicate and to stay connected with our friends and family, and maybe even promote our business. Okay, so that email list is yours. So let's talk about the couple of types of opt-ins that you could have for your business. I'm going to give you my 3 favorites. There's a million things out there that you could do, but I'm going to give you my 3 favorites. The first one is called a starter kit. Now, I made a starter kit for Denise, and I am going to be making one for Serena probably in the near future, but I love starter kits. And what it is, it's a combination of a workbook plus a video. So if I wanted to, number 3 is email signature. If I wanted to, I could turn this workshop into a starter kit. I have a workbook and now I'm going to have a video. So the idea is workbook, video, strategy call. Get them on a call in order to, not to sell. I'm not a fan of trying to sell people something when they opt into your stuff. It's really more about how can I add value? How can I help you solve your problem? I'm not into the buy my stuff. That's just not how I operate. It's not. So a starter kit is get on a call and let me help you figure out, you did the work in the workbook. Now let's figure out where do you go from here, right? And then if they say, wow, this was so great, how can I work with you? That's great, but that's not the intention. The intention is for me to genuinely help someone, help them solve their problem, okay? And I have 2 starter kits on my website. I have one for launching and I have one for goals. So you could literally download it and then it goes to a landing page. You're going to see download the worksheet, the workbook. You're going to see here, click here to watch the video, click here to schedule a call with me and let's help you get to the next level, right? So you can go on there and see how I have it all set up and make your own, okay? Number 2 is a quiz. Anybody here have a quiz? I know Serena has a quiz. I'm going to help Denise make a quiz. I'm so excited about that. But like having a quiz is a great way. I'm going to tell you guys a secret about the quiz. If you use tryinteract.com, there's a free version and a paid version. I'm a fan. The free version does just exactly what I need it to do. But you can have like in the answers, you can have a description of who you are. So give them the answer to the quiz. Then below, you can have information about who you are and what you do. Then there's a button where you can do a call to action. So how do you get them from the quiz to your opt-in? Put a link, your call to action to download your starter kit, download your opt-in, download your ebook, etc. So the quiz, the website is called tryinteract.com. Thank you, Holly, for asking. And it's basically, there are templates on there where you can find quizzes maybe in your industry and you can go in and play around with it, change the things that make sense for you, or you can start from scratch and build your own quiz. If that's something you need help with, let me know. I'd be more than happy to try and help you navigate that, okay? Number 3 is a video series where you're having someone maybe, you know, they're getting maybe 4 5-minute videos, right? So one after the other and they kind of build upon each other. So those are my favorite opt-ins. I want your value, your opt-in to be more than a checklist, right? I want it to be something that is going to actually compel people to say, yes, I want that. I'm willing to give you my email address, which is my most prized possession, right? I don't just give that out freely, right? Because it's already bombarded, right? So I'm very selective about the things that I opt into. And I don't add people to my list without their permission. Just because you sign up for my workshop doesn't mean you're automatically getting added to my list. I don't do it like that, right? I create ways for people to opt in and say, yes, I want to know more from you, right? But then it's value, 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 then maybe an offer. But value, value, value. I am very value driven when it comes to any of that kind of stuff. Okay. So I gave you some space on the workshop, on the worksheet to add some ideas maybe that you have for your opt-in. Go ahead and you can use those notes there. So we're going to go on to step 2, which is to create a content strategy. Okay. And so number 1, I call it the brain dump. And I gave you basically some space to brain dump here about topics that you could comfortably talk about, comfortably teach about, anything that you no more than the average person about that topic. Brain dump it out, right? Not right now, but you know what I mean. So take that space there and just, we're going to dump it all out, create what kind of topics could you teach about? Number two, which we're going to talk about on the next worksheet, is to set intentions for your content. So we're going to talk more about that. And then step three is going to be then to narrow it down and ask yourself which topics are in alignment with the goals, which topics are in alignment with the intentions that we're going to set. Okay, so let's go to what are your intentions? There are three intentions that most people use social media marketing for. The first one is they have an event, they have a workshop, they have a webinar, they have a retreat, they have some sort of event that they want to promote. Okay, so then I recommend, if you can, 6 weeks. I'm pretty quick. I'm like, well, I'll do it in a couple, but if I really have my way, I'm going to give myself 6 weeks to promote my workshop, my event, my paid event, my free event, anything like that. How many attendees do you want? What's the goal? I always like to be really specific and intentional. And then the date that I began to plan to start posting my content. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is going to be, how many leads do you want to receive? Is this a lead generation activity? Is this a way for you to get website visitors? Is this a way to get downloads on your opt-in? Okay, so again, what's going to be the content that you're going to want to share in order to get that goal accomplished? And then number three is to increase followers. So you could look at from which date to which date, be intentional. Okay, so you could say from February 14th to March 14th, my goal is to increase my followers by X amount. So you're being intentional about that. The call to action is to follow, right? To follow, to engage. So then what I've done is I've given you an opportunity to look at your current followers on each of the platforms and then write down what the goal is, right? If you're like, I want to increase my followers by 100 people in each platform, great. Okay, if your goal is to increase 10,000, great. Just write it down. But this is a good way to also track your growth throughout the year, is by writing it down, evaluating where your current platforms are at. And then at the end of your date, you can come in here and document the new amount, and then you can track the difference. Okay. Any questions about how to do that? You guys are good? You know where to find your follower numbers and all that stuff? Okay, so now you've set your intentions. Your goal is to, let's say we're going to use plan a workshop. That's going to be our example. You want to plan a workshop. From the brain dump that you did, I want you to go in and mark, maybe star, circle, highlight, whatever, the topics that are in alignment with that work, with that event. Not everything is going to be in alignment. So I want you to think about the workshop that the event that you're going to have, the workshop that you're going to host. What are you going to be talking about? So my workshop is about social media marketing. So my content, I might be looking at going, so I could talk about all the different social platforms. I could be talking about optimizing your profiles. I could be talking about setting your intentions, creating goals. I could be talking about any of those things. Is self-sabotage really in alignment with social media marketing? Maybe, but not really what I would want to be promoting it about. Do you see what I'm saying? So yes, I could talk about self-sabotage all day long, but it's not really in alignment with my goal of planning a social media marketing workshop. See what I'm saying? So think about what it is, the intention that you're trying to accomplish, and what's in alignment. Play the match game, okay? And all you need, this is my secret sauce, one topic per week. So when you're doing, if you're giving yourself 6 weeks to plan, you only need 6 topics. Yay! We don't have to overcomplicate it. Okay, one topic per week. So step number 3, I told you guys we were going to go fast, right? Because that's how we roll. And we're going to have lots of great time for questions and answers. Okay. So step number 3 is to make it about them. Your content should be about them. All right. So number 1 is going to be decide your platforms. And you're going to see a whole list next on the next page about your platforms and to pick your platforms that you're choosing to use for social media marketing. Number 2, my favorite part, is to create a repurpose strategy. I'm going to tell you how I do that. Okay. Not at the moment, but I'm going to tell you how to do that. Number 3 is to create your assets. So assets are photos, graphics, anything, videos, reels, videos for YouTube, right? All of the things that are going to become your assets, you need to decide what platforms you're going to use and what are the assets that you need in order to be able to go onto that platform and share your content. And then number 4, also my favorite part, is do it, ditch it, or delegate it. So you make a list of all the things that got to get done, and then you need to decide, are you going to do it? Is someone else going to do it? And then if you are choosing to do it yourself, guess what? You need to add time to your calendar to create the content, to schedule your stuff, to make your videos, to do all the things. Because it's really great to say, I'm going to do it myself and then not give yourself any time to actually do it. And then you wonder why you're overwhelmed and stressed out and why it's not working. Okay. And if you're like, this is not my zone of genius, this is not my skill set, I'm happy to connect you with people that I know that do social media marketing and managing. And I don't do that. Like, that's not what I do. I hire someone to do my own, right? Because my time is better spent doing things like this than scheduling my posts. I write my post, I create my post, she schedules it, she does all the things. That's not the best use of my time. Okay. So the question, how can I make my marketing strategy about them? I really want you to think about that. And I would love, love, love to hear some answers of how could you tailor your content to be about them and not about you. If it's about you, it's buy my stuff. If it's about them, it's helping them solve a problem. So I'm just going to tell you guys this. I share all the secrets. I don't hold anything back. I don't, because the way I look at it is absolutely, I can teach you how to do all the things. But if you're like, okay, you taught me how to do all the things, but I really don't want to do all the things. So could you help me? And if they do it, great. I am so excited for you. I want to just make an impact on people's lives and make their entrepreneurship journey easier. Okay, so somebody come off of mute and let's talk about how you can make your content about them. Come on, who's going to be the victim? Be brave. Barb's going to be brave. Yay, Barb. All right. How could you make your content about them?
Well, let them know what their life is today, exacerbate their pain, and then show them the solutions to that.
Okay, great. Ingrid, how could you make your content about them?
Yeah, same as Barb, only different topics. Are you really struggling with your diabetes? Are you sick of taking all these drugs? Do you want to feel better? It's like, yeah, I gotcha.
Okay.
Can make it happen.
Okay. one of the things that I do to make sure that it's about them and not about me is don't post and run. Okay, don't post and run. So basically what that means is don't post some amazing, engaging content and then not stick around to engage with the people that are engaging with you. People are taking the time to comment on your post and then you don't come back and respond for, you know what I'm saying? So here's what you do. You schedule time in your calendar to have social media time where so I know when my VA posts at in the afternoon, my lunch break, I get up and I leave my desk, but that is my social media time. Right? I can't do social media time at my desk because then I get squirrels and I don't get anything done. So phone time is at the kitchen table when I'm eating lunch and just scrolling mindlessly. That's a great time for me to check my notifications and engage and things like that. So I ask my VA to schedule stuff in that time area around like 11 or so that I'm able to then go back and comment and engage with people. Do you see what I'm saying? So don't post and run, okay? Share your secrets, build their trust, okay? It takes a lot of time. And I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to give you the bottom box down there is the secret to growing your business is not necessarily social media marketing. It's not. It's not. I don't know about you guys, but how many of you have ever put a post up and thought that it was going to get you a new client? It's not. We do social media content to build a brand, to bring visibility, to attract people into our experience, to build the relationship, to grow, to add value, but it's not about selling. People don't go to social media to be sold to. They go to social media to be social, to connect with their friends and family, to look at cute dog videos and see the babies and all the things. They want to celebrate with their friends. They want to grieve with them when a loved one passes. It's not about selling. That's not why people go to social media. Okay, so let's stop selling on social media and thinking that that's going to bring you the clients, because it's not. Honest truth. Okay, so the secret to marketing my business has been building relationships. 110,000% has been building relationships. And the number one way that I've done that is through networking. And I have a lot of you on here are Polka Dot Powerhouse members. Love you, sisters. Thank you for coming to support me. The number one way, though, is going to your local chapter, the worldwide member, diamond membership, whatever it is. You go to a meeting and I do the rule of 5. 5 people that I want to meet and connect with from that meeting, because the meeting is where you find the people that you want to connect with. The magic happens in the one-to-one. That's how you build relationships. That's how you build rapport with people. And it's how I've grown my business to 6 figures in under 2 years. I went from being a very successful photographer to now being a 6-figure business coach and consultant and launch strategist. And it wasn't through, right? It was through building relationships, not from selling on social media. Okay. So here's the 5. If you want to write this down and make this your intention, like as you go to a meeting, make it your intention that this is what you want to do. So someone for fun, connect with someone for fun, connect with someone that you can help, connect with someone that can help you, connect with someone who is not like you, and connect with someone who is like you. And for a bonus, like the number one thing that person you want to connect with is someone that you could collaborate with, not sell them something, but have a collaboration partnership of some sort, right? Like I love using Ingrid's because this is a great example. Ingrid does cooking shows and cookbooks and all of the things, right? And then there was a Dot who sells cookware. What a beautiful collaboration to be able to like, and it wasn't about buy my stuff. It was about how can we do something together and do an event together of some sort, right? That's collaboration. Collaboration is not selling. Barb, I see your hand, love.
Yes, you were talking about building the relationships and not putting and selling on social media. Have you ever sold anything on social media through your social media and things like
Not,
that?
when I did my subscription box, that was different because that was an actual product,
Type of
right? I had a
business?
product that appealed to a certain demographic who liked profanity. And so I was able to utilize social media to promote items in the box, which made people want to buy the box. But that was different than selling a service. Selling coaching or anything else like that is really hard to sell that on that's typically a high ticket offer.
Yeah.
And people are not going to social media to look for that. They're finding that through who do they know, like, and trust. That's who they're going to hire. Not a stranger that has an ad. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, absolutely. And I was just, when you said that, it's like, I wholeheartedly believe your way. And it was like, have you ever? And I don't know if anybody else that I've ever worked with has ever done it that way, because they know how to build a business. But I know so many people are out there trying to push and sell and sell. It's like that sleazy car salesman that we all know about and don't want to be anything.
We
to do
don't,
with.
I don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Cool.
be like
Thanks.
that. Yeah,
Appreciate it.
of course. So
Yeah.
then,
No, I have the same thing, Elaine. It's like, I don't want to be seen as an ambulance chaser.
right.
I'm not an ambulance chaser.
Right.
If someone's sick and I'm like, oh yeah, no, it's icky. It's icky. Oh,
Right. So
Elaine?
I'm very much of the belief that do what feels in alignment for you, right? Constance, I see your mic off.
Yes. Hey, so how do you identify what groups to go after? How do you find the groups that that you can visit or worm your way into?
Are you talking about networking groups?
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, yeah. So Polka Dot Powerhouse is the group that a lot of us are with that are on this call. But you can also visit your local Chamber of Commerce, BNI. I know there's eWomen. Like if I were in your situation, what I would do is Google local networking in your community first. And then you can also look at worldwide. Like if you provide a local service, you got to kind of stay in your local, right? Because otherwise that just doesn't seem feasible to network or to market when you are providing a local, right?
Right.
So if you're a hairstylist,
Right.
going to worldwide meetings, unless you're just using it for opportunities to grow and network and collaborate, personal or business development. But it's going to be hard to get referrals if you're not local. So I start local first, and then I go to, if I have a service that is virtual that I can sell anyone anywhere, then that's a little different, and I could go worldwide.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. And I'm aware that most of them have a one visit policy where you can visit one time, and then you can decide, if you want to join or not. So I'm aware that most of them have that one visit policy.
Okay.
So on the pick your platforms, okay, I kind of gave you guys like the platform, some tips, when to post. So you can kind of pick the platforms that make the most sense for you. Okay. I don't want you to mark all of them because that's a little bit much. You can't be everywhere all night unless you're going to hire an assistant to do all that for you. For you to do all, no, I don't recommend it. Okay. But there is a way to repurpose the creating assets and then putting it into motion, I'm going to tell you all my tips and tricks. Okay. So tools and platforms. I love Unsplash for really professional stock photography. You can search. Now they've partnered with another, I don't know, iStock or something like that. So be careful because there's little ads in there now. So just be careful. Make sure that the things that you're using are actually free Unsplash. Canva has also kind of partnered with Unsplash, so you can kind of find some of the same images in there. But Canva.com is probably my #1 platform. I use it every single day, you guys. I'm not even joking. And I use it so much that I upgraded to the Canva Pro version, which is like $12 a month. Totally worth it. Not even going to lie. You can also schedule posts from Canva, which is pretty cool, to your platforms. Very cool. I love that I can make one graphic, and with the Pro version, I can resize it to all the different other platforms. Amazing. Facebook Creator Studio is a must if you want to schedule posts, and you can, this is what I do, is post to Instagram and then have it go to your Facebook page instead of vice versa. I like for editing, for video editing, I like InShot or CapCut, and to edit videos for Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, or TikTok. And then I'm a fan of organizing my content, and I use Trello or Airtable for either one of those. Okay. Those both have free, everything I shared. I paid for $10 to get the Pro version of InShot for the entire year, so that I didn't have their logos or their watermarks on my videos. And then, so here's some hints and tips about graphics. Here's the cool thing, is that an Instagram square can also go great on Facebook. You don't have to resize that. That's totally fine. Blog graphics, if you created a graphic for a blog, that can also go on LinkedIn. Pinterest, like if you have a blog, you must put that on Pinterest. And Canva has great Pinterest templates that are already resized. The other thing you can do, swear to God, I just did this yesterday, is you can, if you have Pinterest embedded on your website, you've done the thing to verify your website through Pinterest, you can literally hover over an image on your blog, click save, and add it directly, boom, add it to whatever board you want to on Pinterest. So easy. I didn't have to upload anything. I literally just boom. Okay. A YouTube cover, like YouTube cover, can also go in other places as well. And then of course, like I said, you can easily resize with Canva Pro. So let's talk about the next one, putting it all into motion. This is my repurpose strategy. This is what I do. This is what I use. So I start everything with a blog post. That is the umbrella. I start with a blog post. And then from there, I create talking points. Then those talking points can become Instagram posts. I only need 6, right? To make a beautiful grid, 6 for Instagram. Okay, so I can pull stories, I can pull quotes, I can use graphics, I can use photos of me. I try to make sure, like, you don't want your Instagram feed to just be graphics. You need it to be personal. You need it to, like, you know what I mean? People like pictures more than they like graphics. Okay. Your blog post then can then go on LinkedIn. You can write an article on LinkedIn if it's for entrepreneurs. You can save it as a draft, then go back and publish it on whatever day you want to. Okay. Post your blog on Pinterest. It's the #3 search engine. So if you're not using Pinterest, you are really missing the boat and the opportunity there to have more SEO. Okay. And then based on my blog post, I make a video. Now, this is you can totally do this a variety of ways, but I like to use Zoom to go live on Facebook or YouTube and then record it at the same time so that then I have a higher quality video and I don't have to go download a video from Facebook and have it be a little choppy. Ingrid?
Okay, so rather than doing a Facebook Live, you go through Zoom and click the Facebook Live thing and do it through Zoom.
You can do that. Yeah, you can also use StreamYard. The one thing though that you got to be careful about is that it's not going to be it's not a video that you're going to really find you're going to be engaging with a lot of people, because you're not going to see comments unless you go.
That's mandatory for me. I mean, I'm all about the engagement. I'm constantly getting, having conversations. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you have to figure out what's important to you and what your intention is.
Okay.
Okay. So
The
it's okay.
intention.
Yeah, it's okay. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying. Thank you.
Of course, of course. Now, the other thing you could do, if you are a backwards person and you want to do video first, then you can transcribe the video using otter.ai, take out all the fluffy stuff, have an assistant do that or something like that for you. But you can start with a blog, you can start with a video. And here's the other thing. If I record video on Zoom, now I have an audio file. So if I wanted to post that audio file on a podcast, I could do that. See what I'm saying? So there's so many different things I can do and just repurpose what I've already created. I know Ingrid's like, oh my God. Do you see what I'm saying? You don't have to reinvent the wheel every single time. Just repurpose what you've already created. And then take little, make little micro videos, and you can do multiple of them, 30-second, 60-second, or whatever, for Instagram Reels, for Facebook. Now, here's the thing. Don't go upload a video to TikTok and then download it and put it on Instagram. They don't like that. So I record my video in my phone camera, and then I upload it to the platforms. And now pay attention though, because Instagram Reels has a very different look and feel than TikTok does. So don't think, do what the app, you know what I mean? Look at what's getting engagement, what's getting follows, and how can you bring that into your business, into your marketing strategy? How can you make it fun and be silly and be entertaining? So it's about entertainment or education. I'm going to tell you, entertainment always seems to be education, unfortunately. People are going to these apps to be entertained. Okay. That's what they're there for. Okay. So then you can also share any posts that you've made and go put it in your Facebook group if you have one. Okay. You can also, and you can pre-schedule those in Facebook itself. You can schedule them in the group. I'm not aware of any other platforms yet where you can schedule group posts. There may be one out there that I'm not aware of, but I use my Facebook group is where I'm the most spontaneous, right? If I have a thought, that's where I go to post about it and to share about it and my thought-provoking things. That's where I get to be spontaneous. But everything else is pretty much scheduled or planned. And then you can send out an email about your blog or your podcast or your video, right? You can send out an email and encourage and inspire people with that blog post. Okay. And in the blog post, you can have an offer, a call to action, an event, a graphic. Go here, do this, sign up for this at the bottom. You know what I mean? Or an invitation to opt in. Okay. Let's see here. And then you can also do end of the week recap. Like if you took all of your Instagram graphics and converted them into IG story, and then you can literally just put do a story So it's boom, boom, boom. That's not just a one a day. It's boom, 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 right? People like to click through and look through stuff. And then recycle content. I'm like, if you find content that is relatable to what it is that you're talking about, share it. Share someone else's content. That can be part of your strategy as well, right? Grab a quote, but always make sure to credit the people. So share their link directly. Or if you're going to do a quote or something like that, make sure that you put the source of that quote. Don't just steal other people's stuff. Nobody likes that. You can create a video about someone else's content and say, I read this. This is my opinion. What do you guys think? Right? Do you have a personal story about the content that you're creating, that you're talking about? Share it, be vulnerable. People like it when you're not perfect. I shared one time a video of my desk being a mess. And you would be surprised how many people were like, I love that. I'm like, but my desk is a mess. And they still loved me. And then the next video I did was a time lapse of me cleaning my desk because I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. I got to clean my desk. All right. Questions. How can I help and support you in improving your social media marketing? I'm here to help. Yes, Pat. How can I help you?
Elaine, what you've done this morning has been absolutely fantastic for me because I've hired people to do my social marketing, but I didn't know enough about it to figure out why it wasn't working.
Okay.
And what I heard from you this morning, I can now find someone and I know what. Am I making sense?
Mm-hmm.
So as far as I'm concerned, this in itself is very valuable. One of the things that I did want to ask you, so thank you. The other thing is the things that I do, the things that I like, events and that are a little bit left of normal and right of normal. I mean, they're just not mainstream. So what do I have to do that's different from more mainstream topics, or does that mean nothing? Does that make sense?
Well, I'm a firm believer of standing out on purpose, right? So be different on purpose.
Right.
It's
right,
okay. You don't have to fit in because you were born to stand out, right? So you don't have to fit in with the mainstream, and you'll actually get attention for not fitting in with the mainstream.
Okay. But that doesn't change my marketing then, right? Okay, that's
It's just, how do you want to show up, right? Like, just decide what your intention is going to be. So when I was doing my subscription box, I was showing up as, the F-bomb girl.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that was who I was trying to attract. And so my middle fingers were on my page. Like, I was F-bombing all over the place because people were like, oh my God, I love you. So I was, my intention was to offend people on purpose.
Okay. And so my intention then is I'm a screwball and I've not ever really put that in my marketing. I save it for when they sign up. And what I hear you
show it to them now. Yeah.
Okay.
Be your crazy goofball self.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course. Of course.
Elaine,
Nita, I love your question. If everybody could share in the chat what your business is, because Nita would love to learn from everybody what you guys do. Constance, what was your question, honey? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
That's okay. I heard you say earlier that, don't concentrate on all the platforms. And right now I concentrate on Facebook. I have a Facebook group and LinkedIn, because I'm an executive coach for women over 50 who are tired of the ish and they want to do
Girl,
something.
you could say shit. It's okay to say shit here.
And they want to do something different. But they're afraid,
Okay.
so they were me, you know,
Uh-huh.
I spent all that time. So I concentrate on those two platforms, a little bit of Instagram, but not consistently. What is your, I heard you say something about Pinterest. I should, you know, and so then my mind started going, okay, now I need to do Pinterest, and I don't really, you know, what?
So Pinterest is, if you think about Pinterest, it is a search engine.
Okay.
Okay. And people go to Pinterest. Like my daughter doesn't really use social media, but she uses Pinterest
Okay.
because she likes to look at inspiration. And so, but Pinterest needs to link back to something. So
Okay.
instead of having sticky notes all over your desk, you have them in a digital Pinterest board.
Okay.
And so instead of magazine articles and clippings, she has it organized in a Pinterest board. So you can create a Pinterest board. Like if you were to break down your business into little topics, categories. So
Mhm.
over here could be executive, over here could be mindset, over here could be, you know, leadership, whatever. Then you can add your own blog articles to those boards. You can also go find other content to pin into those boards as well. So if someone were to go to your board, to your page, they could go and go, oh, I want to learn all about, I want to see all the leadership stuff. And then they could click on that, and there could be tons of content in there that is basically, it just saves them time, and then they can pin that to their own boards for later.
Okay.
So it's like save for later.
Okay.
Okay. So they're saving it for later. They want to go back to it. They see a cool design. They see a cool trick. They learn something new, and oh man, I want to save that for later. I see a recipe that I love. I'm saving it for later. I don't want to make it right now, but I'm going to save it for later. And when I am like, oh, I want to try a new recipe, I'm going to go to my Pinterest board that I titled Yummy, and I'm going to find a recipe that I want to make in there. I saved it for later.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Does that make sense? Does that help?
No, that makes sense. So I'm
Okay.
just going to, so I'll add that, but just stick with Facebook and LinkedIn.
If that is completely okay, right?
Yeah.
I just don't want you to pigeonhole yourself, because I want you to be able to have a blog of some sort. Or a podcast or something that is going to give you a reason to send an email to your list.
Gotcha.
Okay. Because that's adding value. Blog posts are typically value added posts. You are sharing your opinion, you're sharing tips, you're sharing something to help someone solve a problem.
Right. Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
That was helpful. Thank you.
You're
Yeah.
very welcome. Very welcome. Anyone else have a question, thought? We have 5 more minutes before. Okay, Pat.
You said something earlier about really building your business, and it's not social media. I've known that for a while, and I call it, groundwork. So what other things will you ever do a workshop like this on building and marketing without using social media?
You mean like building a business through networking?
Yes. And networking covers, yeah, let's leave it at that.
Okay, I could absolutely do that.
What I think about, and I haven't been able to figure it out, Elaine, maybe you're the lady to do that, is we did marketing and we built businesses before there was ever such a thing as social media and email. I want to know, and that's where I was really good at it. Okay. And now I've gotten so much into this, there's more to it. I'd like to see if there's a way to do it. Not that I wouldn't still use social media, but I like that idea of, I'm going to pretend like it doesn't exist and see what I can do.
And that's where networking comes in.
Okay.
To me, networking is a replacement for social media marketing.
Okay.
In my mind, because it's about building relationships, building community, connecting one-on-one. That to me is above all else. If social media went away tomorrow, I would be okay, because I've built a community, I've built a network. I have my own Rolodex, you know, of people that I can go to for help. And I can still support people without scrolling on Facebook.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
So, yeah. So build your network. They always say your network is your net worth, right? And every person that you meet, let's just pretend that every person knows 200 people. When I walk into a room of 20 people, I have access to 20 people times 200. Do you see what I'm saying? Because I want them to think about someone that they know that might need my help, right? So your network is also your referral, like it's that they become your marketing team. You're listening to help them. They're listening to help you. You're connecting one-on-one. You're learning more about each other. Even if you're just talking about your dogs for 20 minutes, that doesn't matter, right? The one-on-one is not about selling. It's about let's get to know each other. And it's the first date. You don't sell people on the first date. You talk about it more maybe on the second date. But I want to get to know someone and who they are as the core of their being. And I might be so fascinated that I might say, oh my gosh, tell me more about your business. Like, wow, like tell me what's going on. Right. And that's what it's all about, is about building those connections and building that relationship.
I get all that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Miss Ingrid.
Okay, Elaine, so going back to the beginning when you were talking about how important it is for us to have that email list.
Yep.
I have really struggled with sending out regular emails and everything. And it's just, I'm probably just getting in my own way again. I know that I receive so many email newsletters, and some people send them to me daily. And I just like, in January, I always go through my emails and unsubscribe because it's annoying. So this is my worry, Elaine. It's like, am I just going to get lost in the spam? No one wants to be spam.
No, but what could you do to give value to people's lives? If you shared a recipe or right? So that's the thing. If you're writing a blog post once a week, and you send out information, I wrote this great blog post, I thought of you, or whatever, then and I have a recipe to share with you.
I mean,
I'm gonna read the recipe. I want to know the recipe.
I mean, I just get so many of these emails saying, "Oh, I've got this great offer," or "Have you considered this?" or all this stuff, and I'm like, it's just noise. It's
so be different.
Noise.
So be different.
Okay.
Can I make a comment on that, Ingrid?
Please.
I've been inundated as well, but I actually have files of people that have sent me emails with really important topics that I use for my stuff, and I've never bought a single thing from them.
Mhm.
So I just,
Yeah, I mean, it's
know,
not just
some
to
of it-
sell stuff, it's for information. It's
yeah, there's articles, there's blogs, there's et cetera.
Yeah,
and
my
I've never bought a single thing from them, but I right away put them into my file for that certain thing. And
yeah, I mean, it's just to read that recipe, which I did on Tasty Tuesday, which is now on my YouTube channel, which is going on my blog. And now apparently I'm going to be putting that on Pinterest as well, apparently. So I guess I'm going to have to break that news to my VA. You got to set me up a Pinterest account. She's going to love me. I haven't got a bloody clue.
That's okay, right? It's okay. Yeah. So you have to get out of the mindset that you are, what are people going to think of me?
Yeah.
And the thing is if they've opted in to your list, they're asking to hear from you. That's completely different than randomly sending someone an email and automatically subscribing them to your list. People that have subscribed to your list are asking to,
they are.
and they have the freedom to unsubscribe if they don't want to hear from you again. That's okay. It doesn't hurt my feelings.
Yeah, no, it
right?
doesn't.
Right. So look at it as I'm adding value.
Reframing in progress.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you.
Yes.
Very
Yes.
helpful.
Yes.
Because my marketing person has been chewing my ass about this for like 2 years.
Okay, it's time to listen. It's time to
Ingrid,
listen.
one of the things I've done is when they come in and they opt in, one of the things I've asked them is, how often do you want to hear from me?
Oh, that's a good point.
Every day, once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month, or newsletter beginning of the month, and then weekly tidbits of something that else can help them.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't have to be, like Elaine mentioned, it doesn't have to be everything every single day.
Yeah.
And if you're
But-
having Tasty Tuesdays, I don't know what I'm making for dinner tonight. So I'll go back to yesterday's post that Ingrid sent me a recipe. And I will keep that in my email bin under what I call swipe files or recipe files. And then I will organize it that way. And if I love it, I'm going to print it out and I'm going to put it in my recipe book.
Yep.
You know? So things
Yeah.
like that just help them organize your material even better. The way you've organized it to send it out to them, help them organize it to receive it.
Receive it. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And then
Thank
you
you.
can
Thank
you
you,
can
Bob.
also
Thanks.
send people your Pinterest board, and they can subscribe to your Pinterest board and go in and see all your stuff. Like, come on, Ingrid, you got this.
Ingrid, you could also make it as a product. If you have your Tuesday recipes, that's 52 Tuesdays in a year.
Yep.
You can either subscribe and buy my recipes, 52 recipes for this year, and that's a product for you. That's extra revenue generating product.
Yeah.
Or you just tell them, get this binder, here it is, print out every Tuesday, and then this is what you're going to have. And do it as desserts, do it as main menus, do it as appetizers, do it and have those different types of things that you would do a cookbook done. You have all that done. I do this. Usually when I send stuff out, I do this in December. I don't do work in December. I plan the next year in December. I've got all 52 done. I've got all 365 done, whatever I need. And then I teach them how to take in my material.
Wow.
Boom, Ingrid. We talked about that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this was insightful. I hope that I would love to hear from you. To send me an email in a week or two. Let me know how you're doing. What did you implement into your business? Because here's the thing. You can take all this and do nothing, or you can actually implement something into your business and actually start to see growth. And you know what I'm saying? So don't just take this and keep it in your brain. Actually take something and implement it. Okay. Can you guys promise me that you will implement something that you learned today? Just one thing. Okay. I would love to hear about it. So be sure to send me an email. Let me know what you decide to do. I would love to hear from you. And I hope you guys all have a super wonderful day. Thank you again. And we'll see you guys later.
Thanks, Elaine. As usual,
Elaine.
great information.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Adore you.
I adore you too.
Thanks.